like kind of numb. You are not understanding what's happening. You are just keep pushing this food into your mouth without understanding the taste, the texture, anything about food. It's like you're just trying to silence this negative feeling. And while you are eating, while you're stuffing this food inside yourself, you're not thinking about that stress or about that other negative emotions you have. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. For those who are new here, I'm using this channel in order to document my health journey, especially with the focus on weight loss, and especially with focus on building healthy relationship with myself, with my health, with food, and changing my attitude to all those processes, to my health, to sport, to activity. And I'm using different techniques. Some of them have psychology roots, NLP roots, some pop science. I'm testing them and I'm sharing my experience here. So today I want to talk about one very interesting thing that I have discovered recently. And this technique, this approach is connected with distress. The idea kind of here that you are trying to live with some kind of discomfort, with uncomfortable feeling. Overall, this technique is called distress tolerance. And the idea is it's not just like you becoming tougher and you can resist some kind of pain, especially emotional pain we are talking about. The idea is that you are teaching yourself to observe discomfort, look at this, monitor it without fight with that and without being involved or giving to that. Why this thing is important, especially for those who are dealing with some kind of emotional eating, binge eating, craving episodes, and for me it's a big thing. This technique helps not only to deal with the current issues, current not healthy relationship with food, but it helps to build long-term progress, the attitude, the some kind of bridge to that personality that you are about to become. So I'm personally using this technique to deal with emotional hunger, with binge eating episodes, which I have quite often, and with anxiety around food. But as far as I understood and from what I've seen, people use it for different kind of discomfort situation. So it's all about some kind of emotional pain. It can be, again, different kind of anxiety, the urge to use your phone, or like some kind of addictions. You may Google and explore this topic more, but in this particular video I'm going to talk mostly about using this technique, this discomfort tolerance, distress tolerance, in order to deal with things connected with cravings, emotional hunger, and binge eating. So the idea of this approach is that once we start experiencing something unpleasant, let's say craving, or you feel like you want to binge, instead of just fighting with this feeling and trying to distract yourself, and it may work, like some people can distract themselves by doing sport, by going to shower, by doing whatever they can. But at the same time, when you're trying to fight this hunger, you are feeding it, because you are investing a lot of emotions, a lot of efforts to deal with this issue. At the same time, you're giving all this energy, those emotions, in order to build this neural connection in your brain connected with actually binging or having emotional eating episodes. So the point here, instead of feeding this feeling with your emotions when you're fighting it, or just giving into it and start binging, you are just trying to tolerate this discomfort feeling. You see how it grows. For example, you are going to experience a craving or binge eating episode, and you start already feeling that this idea is coming. You want to binge, or you want to eat something particular, like you have a craving, let's say for ice cream. And you're just observing this feeling, and you see how it grows, how it reaches its peak, and how it fades. And the point here, again, we are not fighting, we are not trying to distract ourselves, we are not trying to make it faster, like you're trying to make this feeling go away faster. You are just like an observer. You look and you just observe. And the key point here, look at all of it from the point of curiosity, not judgment. So you're just like curious, okay, now I have this craving for ice cream. Where do I have this feeling? Is it in my stomach? Is it in my chest? Is it in my head? How strong is this feeling? And try to describe it like with some tiny details. It's like, does it have color? If this feeling would have a color, what kind of color would that be? Or does it have any temperature? Does it have any shape? How it look like? How can I describe it from 1 to 10, for example, how strong this feeling is? And you observing how this feeling is reaching the peak. So especially once you just start having this feeling, like first couple of minutes, the feeling will be the strongest and eventually it's going to reach its peak. And again, you're observing how this feeling, for example, this craving for ice cream, is reaching its peak. After, you will notice that this feeling will start fading. And anyway, the point of this exercise is actually all feelings, all emotions are temporary. And yes, they can be quite strong, but sooner or later, all these feelings are going to reach point. Sooner or later, all these feelings are going to start fading. And the point is not rush it, just observe and let these feeling, this anxiety or this hunger or whatever, reach its peak and let it fade away. And the kind of freedom here, this feeling here, it's like it's gonna end. You don't need to give in, you don't need to go to fridge and eat that ice cream, you don't need to do something else, because this is feeling, this is temporarily, and sooner or later this feeling is going to end. And especially when you're starting, the good thing is to use some kind of timer. And when you just beginning, it's okay to have like 1 minute. Let's say you have this irresistible feeling to go to fridge and eat this ice cream. So you set a timer for 1 minute and you say, okay, I will go and I will eat that ice cream. But before I do so, I will just sit here with this feeling, with this discomfort, with this unpleasant feeling for 1 minute. Later, you can increase it to 2, 5, and so on. And according to research, according to experiences of people who have successfully dealing now with binge eating episodes and emotional eating, the feeling typically, this uncomfortable feelings, they usually last between 5 to 20 minutes. So in case you can build up this tolerance up to 20 minutes, so you can set a timer and say, okay, I now have this nagging feeling that I want to eat this ice cream. And instead of immediately rushing to fridge and eating, I will set this timer for 20 minutes. I will sit and I will just observe this uncomfortable feeling, this anxiety, for example, around food. And I will not rush this feeling. I will not try to distract myself. I will just sit and observe this discomfort, this unpleasant feeling, and I will try just to be there, present there. And once these 20 minutes finish, I'm going to go to fridge and eat that ice cream. And in many cases, like I have noticed it myself already, you are not going to go to that fridge because this feeling will start fading away and you will just like be done with that. It's kind of like magic, and it's actually sounds so simple, but it does require effort, it does require some additional investment and presence. So there are a couple of ways how you can deal with this unpleasant feeling, with this distress tolerance. The first one is connected with mindfulness. So it's practical what I have just said. We're trying to be present, we're trying to concentrate, look, observe those negative feelings instead of running away or refusing to dealing with them or just practically feeding them. Next point is connected with very interesting and very promising for me personally techniques of earth surfing. This is something that I have started practicing like a week ago, and for me, at least the way I see it, the way I feel it, it sounds very, very promising. So I'm going to make a separate video about earth surfing. But again, the idea is the same. Instead of fighting, instead of resisting to those cravings, to those binge eating episodes, you kind of ride them like a wave. So kind of wave is coming, it's reaching its peak, it's disappearing, and instead of like diving under this wave or like trying to avoid it, you just like take your surf and you are surfing this way. Really, like, I find it really fascinating, and as I told, one of my next videos is going to be devoted to that topic. So I will share my personal experience with this particular approach. Next thing, which is also very useful, is a self-talk. So we do need to pay attention to the way we talk to ourselves, especially once we talk about something which is connected with this unpleasant emotion. Again, let's like binge eating, like when you want to binge, how you talk to yourself, when you have already had that binge eating episode or that emotional eating episode, or you were craving something and you satisfied that craving, how you talk to yourself after that. And it tells a lot about the relationship with food that we have and what's happening in our head. And once you start fixing it, once you start talking to yourself, not like to your enemy, but like to your best friend, like to your child, your partner, your parents, your loved ones, you will see also how these negative feelings are transforming and getting less unpleasant and even like positive. And one more thing, it's connected with breathing. Again, somebody may think that it's not working, it's some kind of like Zen meditation stuff, etc. But if you watch some recent research, you see that science can already now prove that there is a very big connection between breathing, deep breathing, like some kind of meditation breathing, and how our body reacts to that. And it's connected with some kind of neural system, these little neural connections that we have in our lungs. And when we're breathing really deep, and once we're breathing in and breathing out really deep, we kind of trigger all those neural connections, which again going to change something in the way we think or in the way we feel about something. So it's not just about like meditating and being a yoga person or something. There's real like hard science behind it now. And once you calm down, you will sit, you will breathe, you will calm yourself down, you will see that it's way easier to fight with different negative feelings that you have. And practically last point here, it's actually allowing yourself to be exposed to this negative feeling. Let's say you want to binge, and you may post timer, you may postpone it for a couple of minutes, but you still feel like you want to binge. So what you do? You go, you take this food that you want to binge, and you are binging. But instead of being blind, and in case you had any binge eating episodes, you already know what I'm talking about. You like kind of numb. You are not understanding what's happening. You are just keep pushing this food into your mouth without understanding the taste, the texture, anything about food. It's like you're just trying to silence this negative feeling. And while you are eating, while you're stuffing this food inside yourself, you're not thinking about that stress or about that other negative emotions you have. But you still can allow yourself to binge on that ice cream or fast food or whatever. But this time your task will be to be present. And it changed the situation dramatically, because you can now understand the taste, you can now understand the texture of the food, you can now understand if you actually like the taste. Now you can ask yourself some questions like, why I'm eating that? And again, it doesn't mean that it magically and immediately going to solve this problem, but there is a huge difference between being numb, being unconscious, just like having those impulses, those cravings, those binge eating triggers, and immediately act on them, and being able to pause, to think, and to make a conscious decision to eat or not to eat. And even though you are going to eat and you're going to binge and you're going to feed that craving or you're going to feed that negative emotion, just because you are able to pause, just because you are able to stop and decide, okay, and tell it actually, okay, now I'm going to binge, now I'm going to eat this cake, now I'm going to eat this ice cream, it changes the situation dramatically, because we are not these zombie people anymore. We are conscious people who take their own decisions to eat or not to eat. And it's a game changer. It's a game changer, especially for those who are dealing with those not so healthy relationship with food. And again, relationship with food, not so healthy relationship with food, not so healthy relationship with my health. It's probably the key things why I for the practically all my life I was gaining and losing weight without being able to keep it off, just because I was trying to push only my physical body. I was only trying to do diet or following some kind of nutritional regimes without practically dealing with the root causes of those problems, with my heart, with my feelings, with something which was triggering, with all those kind of built roads in my brain, built neural connections in my head for years, which instead of like changing them, building new roads which gonna bring me to the desirable results, I keep stuck on them, fighting with them, feeding them, and that's why we're not able to solve those issues. So obviously I'm not an expert. I still far from reaching my goals, but since January, when I started working on all of this, when I started building healthy relationship with my head, with food, I have noticed a huge difference in my approach to food, in my approach to myself, in my approach to people around us. And again, the more tools we have, the richer we are, and the easier it will be for us to reach our goals. It's in your hands to be that person. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. All those techniques that I've been talking about in my last couple of videos, and now those techniques which I'm going to talk about in my future upcoming videos, are really helping me a lot, and I hope you can find them useful as well. So if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.